Good morning. I don't even have to actually get out of the truck for the way I have the camera set up. I guess I do have to put 1 foot out of the truck. See 1 foot out of the truck. We're continuing this video right where we left off yesterday. We're on the hairpin on Highway 33 over here. You guys clicked in over there. There we go. Safety tether hooked on. Let's hammer down. Oh, there comes a truck. He's going to pull over and let cars by. So I'm going to have a long lineup of cars behind me like right away. Oh well, that's okay. Engine brakes on. It's not slippery yet. It is 0 degrees Celsius. Wow, that pickup had a terrible exhaust sound. His engine was definitely blowing up. Didn't see any smoke though. Alright, so this is a continuation of yesterday's video. We started in Winfield, Oyama. We started in Oyama, drove through Winfield, through Kelowna, and now we're on Highway 33, driving into the snow, climbing up towards Big White. Well, not really climbing for a little bit here, but we'll be climbing soon. And then head toward Beaverdale. Hammer down, get this delivered today. My GPS says I'll arrive at 1:30. Head up and over to Castlegar, load some glue lamb there, and then just head home. I do have to drive on Sunday to deliver that load. So my days, I'll have Friday, Saturday off. I know you're watching this on a Friday, but you know, due to movie magic, today's not Friday for me. Yeah, get that load loaded, head home. Friday, Saturday off, Sunday morning off, and then we'll continue on Monday. I guess leaving Penticton somewhere. Should still be enough sunlight to do a video there for Monday. Depending on how bad the roads are, I might leave earlier in the day. I have to make a judgment call as we go. The roads are still wet with slush. So roads like this, you got to be super careful to stay in the wet. If you get a tire on that slush, it's super easy to lose control. So if you're going to pass someone, slow right down, slowly move over to the other lane. Once you're in control in the other lane, then you can speed up and pass that person. But do all your maneuvering and be stable before you even think of going beside the other vehicle. need to play some good Christmas music. Because we're there, guys. We are there. Winter, I think, is here hardcore. I mean, the last 2 weeks, we've been slowly getting more and more snow. Luckily, I've only had to chain up once so far. But looking at this storm, I think there's a good chance I'll be chaining up either today on Paulson. Either way on Paulson. Either empty going over to Castlegar, I might have to chain up there, we'll see. And then once I'm loaded coming back this way, I might have to chain up there. We'll see. There's a chance I'll have to chain up twice. Hopefully, I don't have to. I don't think I'll have to chain up here on Big White. I don't see it. The road's too wet over here. And if the road's this wet over here, even if Big White, the road turns just to snow and slush, it's not going to be black ice, I don't think. Still lots of traction on this stuff if you're careful. Slow down a little earlier than normal. And yeah, I'm in a rush, but I'm not going to be enough of a rush to feel like I have to do anything unsafe. I'm still going to take my time through these corners. And I'm not in a big rush. Like I said, GPS says 1:30. I think the last load they take is 3:30, so we have 2 hours of spare time. And it's 11 o'clock now. 12:1, so that I could go almost half speed the whole way and still make it. No, I do not have my lockers on yet. Luckily, this truck, unlike all my other trucks I've had, you can turn the lockers on anytime you want. It's just air. It's not a wire that... It's not an electronic lockers. They're air lockers. A lot of the electronic lockers, you have to go like below 60 kilometers an hour to lock them in. I think you can get it programmed so you can put them on anytime. But what it did was it would force me, when climbing Paulson, to turn my lockers on in Castlegar. If I needed them or not, I had to turn my lockers on at the bottom of the hill when I was going slow. And it was dumb. It was just so dumb. I think you can program it so that you can turn them on at a higher speed. Just make sure you are not spinning your tires when you turn those lockers on. Because if you're spinning your tires, you're gonna break gears very quickly back there. There will be teeth flying. Teeth will be knocked loose. So you want to engage your lockers before you need them. And if you all of a sudden start spinning your tires, you must come to a stop, or at least get off the throttle to where you're not spinning the tires, then engage the lockers and hope you can get moving again. By that time, most likely you've spun out and you have to chain up. I, for one, will be turning my lockers on right at the base of this climb. You'll hear two loud hisses due to the fact that the switches are air switches. Right about now. You know what? Turning them on is actually quiet hisses. Turning them off releases the air. So that's the loud hisses. Alright, here we go. Looks like they've spread a lot of sand here. The roads are very brown. So, yeah, we'll be fine. Probably didn't need the lockers, but like I said, you want them engaged before you actually need them. And no harm in having them on. In fact, in the summer, when I have a fully loaded Super Bee climbing like the Coquihalla at 25 kilometers an hour, I'll have the lockers on just to give the truck a little more traction so I'm not spinning tires and burning rubber. No problems at all. Nice and dirty road. I like dirty roads. I like them dirty. That's what she said. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Hey Kyle, are you still stuck up here? Well, if he is, he doesn't have his radio on. He had a brake pod that was over, I guess not brake pod, brake drums that were overheating. I guess a brake that was dragging, so he stopped at the brake check and spent the night there and waited for a repair truck today morning. So I don't know if he got down the hill or not. Or if he's still up here waiting. Definitely getting a little more slushy as we go up higher. passing zone for the next 2 kilometers. Also the exit to Big White. Big White's beside us on the left-hand side. Ski hill actually opening early this year due to the large amounts of snow. Here, I'm glad I got the lockers on. If I thought that I would spin out on the white stuff here, I would have stayed on the dark side. Hey, that pickup's from Manitoba. Just the one pickup coming by me. Everybody else turned off. I guess there's only like 2 cars behind us, huh? Snowplow's done some wonky clearing here. It's like back and forth. I don't get it. All in the right lane, left lane, right lane, left lane. Okay, now you're going to hear the 2 loud hisses when I turn the lockers back off. No, he's not up here, so must have gotten it repaired, or at least got the brakes caged and driven down to a shop. Now the lights stay on for a second. One's off already. There we go, both are off. You gotta look, keep an eye on those lockers, make sure they both turn off. So why would I turn them off? So you have to remember when the lockers are on, that is all 8 tires on the truck. All the 8 drive tires have power to them and are locked up, pulling forward at the same speed. When you take a corner, one tire has to go faster than the other. That doesn't work when they're locked up. So if you're going downhill, coming around a slippery corner, that's 8 tires fighting 2 steer tires. 8 tires want to go straight, 2 steer tires want to turn. They're not going to make the turn. So turn them back off. Like your cars, front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, only one of those wheels is getting power. Every time you go around the corner, only one of those wheels is getting the power to go around that corner, because one tire is going faster than the other. Unless your vehicle has lockers, which a lot of off-road 4-wheel drive vehicles do. When you turn those lockers on and you make a tight corner, you hear all sorts of grinding and thumping. That's you forcing the vehicle to do things it doesn't like. Making a turn when it wants to have all 4 tires going straight. I know our pickup has lockers on the back. So when we go to 4-wheel drive, the rear goes in. The rear gets locked and the front is not locked. Although the front, the computer will move the power around to different wheels. So, well, we've caught the snowplow. That's a shame. I would like to pass that snowplow. Hopefully the snowplow turns off here. Maybe it'll go to the bottom of the hill and then turn off. Well, it just raised its side blade. It still has its bottom blade going. Why would you raise your side blade? Now I have to drive in that muck. And he's turning off there. Okay. And now we are just on solid black ice, solid snow. I think it's snow with ice underneath it. What about that hill coming up? Are you guys not plowing that hill? You guys better be plowing that hill. Maybe there's a separate snowplow over there just working that hill coming up. I mean, for us going downhill, it's not going to be a big deal, but going uphill, those guys would have to chain up on stuff like this. Yeah, we're going to take it super gentle around these corners. I put throttle all the way down. I don't spin my tires, so there is grip. I have super awesome winter tires on. That tree is trying to give us a high five. Engine brakes are off. Not using engine brakes on this, because that's a good way of jackknifing. Minus 1 degree Celsius. Doing a little ice road trucking. Hill looks white. Oh boy, we have to come down slow enough down this hill, just in case there are big rigs spun out, taking up the whole road, and I have to come to a stop. Because with a road like this, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a big rig stuck. There's a snowplow coming up the hill, so that's good to know. Good sign. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Spreading sand. Good, good. Slow her right down before making the turn. Yeah, that big rig following that snowplow is lucky to be following the snowplow up the hill, because there was not much sand on here. Clearing some snow with a skid steer. Skid steer had a huge blade in front of it. need more brakes than that. Coming down the hill's a little too quick without engine brakes on. Man, seeing the headlights shining off the road on the other side, it is pure ice, guys. Holy, when you see headlights that shiny off the road, yeah, that's scary to see. Look for that. If you guys are driving down the road, look for headlights or taillights reflecting off the road. If you see them directly reflecting off the road like that, she's slick. That's a sign that you should take your foot off the throttle, don't touch the brake, and just let the vehicle slow down. Because you're on solid black ice. Well, in this case, it's solid compact snow with a layer of ice on top of the snow. Why is there a layer of ice on top of the snow? Because your tires get hot. Like my big rig tires are wet all the time. They're hot. And so they melt the ground, and my heavy truck, a lot of extra friction. The more friction you're putting on that snow, the more heat that creates too. So the snow thaws and refreezes every time a vehicle drives over it. And then a snowplow comes along and makes it nice and smooth, removing all the grip that was there completely. Sometimes a plowed road is much slipperier than a plowed road. And this is a slippery one here today. Turn my lockers on. Too many of these little hills where I'm going to spin out all of a sudden. And then just take it super easy around the corners. Yeah, I'll turn them off again. I don't like them. I don't like them on. Makes me nervous. Just keep an eye out for the bigger hills and just click them on every time. Read those orange or the orange diamonds, the yellow diamonds. In weather like this, read those diamonds. Like this diamond says, slow down 10 kilometers. I promise you that's what that said. For those of you that made it half an hour into the video, if you don't know this about British Columbia, diamonds tell you, they tell you stories. without being able to see what's on the diamond. Just seeing a yellow diamond tells you the story already. So just a single diamond like this means maybe slow down, watch out for some kind of hazard. That one was for watch for over livestock. So the speed limit here is 90. It doesn't matter what the speed limit is, the diamonds always tell you the same story. So if you only see one single diamond with a arrow or whatever, they're suggesting that you slow down 10 kilometers. So since we're driving 90 on here, when we see a single diamond, slow down to 80. Now when we see a diamond, see this one here, we're going to slow down and make sure we're below 80. For this corner on a road this slippery, we're going to go a little slower. See, that diamond told us to slow down a little bit. When you see a diamond with a square underneath it, that square is going to have a suggested speed limit. Like the one on the other side. You see the one on the other side? It's saying if you're taking that road northbound, you should slow down 20 kilometers. That little square read 70 on it. Guarantee it, 100% without looking at it, that little square on the bottom said 70 kilometers for that corner. A diamond with a small square underneath is always, almost always, 20 kilometers below the posted speed limit. Since it's 90 here, that sign would have read 70. Now, there's one more. You'll see that same diamond with a square underneath it, but 100 meters before that, there will be a single diamond. So if you see a single diamond first, and then behind it, you see another diamond with a square underneath it, that's always going to be slow down 30 kilometers below the posted speed limit. In this case, it would say 60 kilometers an hour or lower. So it could be lower, but at least 30 kilometers below the posted speed limit. Let's see if we see a couple of those coming up. Look at the pond completely covered with snow. Still some moisture coming through. That was kind of cool. Just watch, I got it on the rear facing camera or something, and you guys missed the pond. I'm sorry if you did. Here we go. Got a slow. It's just a watch for livestock again. Here we go. See, got a single diamond, and then we'll have another diamond behind it, and it'll guarantee to be 60 kilometers or slower. See? Called it. And the first diamond always says slow on it. If the first diamond says slow down 30 kilometers below the speed limit. Obviously, if the weather is perfect and the highway is dry, you can do more than that suggested speed limit. But if it's roads like this, do at least that. It will save you from being upside down in the ditch. See, a single diamond, just warning you, hey, you consider slowing down. There might be rocks on the road depending on time of year. Fall and spring, you should listen to that. See, here we go. A diamond, and it's going to be at least 60 kilometers or slower. And this time it's 50, so it is slower than 60. Slower right down. On dry roads, I drive at least 20 above the suggested speed limit. Logging trucks are just animals on highways in the winter. Most logging trucks have a tri-axles, so they have 3 drive axles, which means when they lock those up, they have a total of 12 tires locked up, full traction. Logging trucks can just drive through snow. They don't need to chain up like ever. Sometimes you see them pulled over in the chain up area where it's mandatory chain up, but they don't like doing it. They don't need to be doing it. And because they've got 3 axles with 3 drive axles, they can put 24,000 kilograms on those axles, so lots of traction. Yeah, I talked about those diamonds and speed limits a long time ago. I've talked about them, and then recently I brought them up in a bonus video. I'm like, oh, I should talk about them in a regular video here. Not everyone knows. Sometimes I worry turning the wipers on will actually make it worse. It's snowing. Nice and slow and relaxed. Here I'm like, you know what, we'll do a video all the way down to Rock Creek. Not a chance. There's no way these batteries are making it all the way down to Rock Creek. We'll make it to Beaverdale. See diamond and then diamond with square. Hopefully you can't unsee that now when you guys are driving in BC. Really got to watch that shoulder lane. I see some lanes have dropped off the road there. Huge problem is overplow. It looks like there's a road there, but it's just snow that's been plowed to the side. So you gotta be careful not to drop your steer axle off the edge of the road, even though it looks like there is road there. Made that mistake once. First winter, my very first winter trucking, and 7 years ago. Before I had YouTube videos rolling all over. I got some clips of it, but I think I had one single Sony action cam back then. But I parked that truck in the ditch, looked at Jess, looked at the mirrors, and just told Jess, hold on, because she thought we had come to a stop and we're done. I'm like, nope, hold on, we're going to roll over. And she's like, what? I'm like, we're going to roll over. Like, hold on, because I'm seeing the pup just slowly leaning over into the snow, and then all of a sudden you got that whiplash that just comes all the way through the truck and trailer. The pup rolls over, the lead rolls over, and then the truck rolls over. The truck actually never did roll all the way over. They twisted the frame like crazy. But it was like the truck was like at a 45-degree angle. The trailers were twisted. The trucks and trailers are all twisted like crazy. And the crazy part is that, like, everybody thought that was a write-off. It's like the way that frame was twisted, the truck and the trailers, that's a write-off. But when tow truck tipped everything back on its wheels with the load still on it. My load secure was so good. Load stayed on it. Tipped everything back on its wheels. I did a U-turn, drove back to the lumber mill, unloaded everything, went in for an inspection, inspected the whole truck and trailer. trailer fifth wheel the teeth needed to be replaced because they were stretched. Some air hoses, some super minor stuff. I drove that truck and trailer for years after. In fact, I took that truck and trailer all the way to Manitoba after they inspected everything, got everything fixed, had the load rebuilt, untarped and rebuilt, retarped, drove it to Manitoba. Not many truck drivers can say they've rolled a truck and driven away from it. In fact, I know nobody else that can say that. And that all happened because I pulled onto overplowed shoulder. Why did I pull over onto overplowed shoulder? Well, cars were doing stupid stuff and I was trying to get out of the way because there was going to be a head-on collision. Now, when cars do stupid stuff, I'm not going to pull onto their shoulder. I'm going to let them figure it out. And if they crash into the side of me, at least they only crash into the side of me and I'm not rolled over in the shoulder. At least I say that's what I'm going to do. We'll see what instinct does. I think we'll turn the... Do we need to turn lockers on? No, we're going to get some speed on that hill. We'll be fine. Nobody's catching up with me so far, and I haven't caught up with anyone else. Normally a very boring highway, but in Winter Wonderland it's kind of pretty. Hill was a little brown anyway, so if it's spreading sand on it, that's good. .0°C, so it is warming up a bit as we get further south and losing altitude. Been going for like 45 minutes and we're still not at Beaverdale. Definitely not making very good time. Is that blue sky behind us, or is that just a different colored gray cloud? Can't tell. Roads are definitely getting a little slushier again. That's good. Is that like a little Suzuki snowplow? I got chains on the front and the back of it. What is that? Can't tell what kind of vehicle it is. A little tiny SUV with a snowplow on it. Huge sign saying, "We use your taxpayers to do this." Resurfacing this road. Got an old school John Deere there. I'm finding the rear view clouds in my rear view mirror quite unique, quite awesome looking. Welcome to Carmi. Beaverdale is right after Carmi. Technically, there's a road that goes all the way from Carmi up and over through to Penticton. You'll need a very capable four-wheel drive to do so. Probably a chainsaw, because you're going to be taking old deactivated logging roads. In some ways, the slushy road's more dangerous than the icy road because it can grab your tires. Looks like they just pulled that vehicle out of the ditch with a chain or with a cable. Ew. Buy yourselves some Yankum rope. I should buy myself a Yankum rope. Or a Matt's off-road recovery rope. So much safer pulling a vehicle out with that than with a tie-down strap or a chain or a cable. Also dangerous because when they snap, they go flying. Those kinetic energy ropes, they just fall on the ground. I know, I thought about it, my intrusive thoughts. I'm like, I should just put a wheel onto the shoulder and I would spray that little minivan with snow. But just plaster it. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Plus 1 degree Celsius. We're warming up. brakes are coming back on. Almost to Beaverdale. I recognize this pull out. Trying to redraw the lines where everybody drives to the proper road. People tend to shortcut the corners in bad weather like this. Whenever I have the opportunity, I try to go on the path that people should be taking. Welcome to Beaverdale. I'll drive through town here and we'll call it a day. I swear that's sunlight. That snow is bright. To put my sunglasses on, because with this much snow, the sun reflects back at you and you get the snow blindness. Well, it's just not snow. They call it snow blind. It's just so bright that you actually hurt your eyes. Before sunglasses existed, they would put the Inuit would put these wooden glasses on with just little slits cut in them to reduce the amount of sun that would come in. Beaverdale, built along the old KVR Railroad. Hey doggo, careful. There's two doggos, okay. Slower speed, less thawing because our tires aren't as hot in the slower speed. Alright, that was Beaverdale. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was definitely intense. Definitely had to focus hardcore on that road. I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more winter coming up in the next couple of weeks. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Feel free to join us on the 3J's channel on the weekends. For now, we are out of here. You guys absolutely rock.